What's up, Internet? It's your girl, Cast Iron Skillet, here to fry up some eggs for that ass. And as always, today's sponsor is Rock. Because when the fascists come a knocking, you get to rockin', bitches. So in the last video I talked about I want to make another one on kind of a niche book collection I have. And I've only recently really started getting into collecting them, which is a shame given the fact that I am a chef. And in the food industry professionally. Um, Even though right now I'm working fast food, which is just like, fuck it, whatever. Management is management. You get some experience for management and you put it on your resume. But these are cookbooks. I don't have a lot of them because I'm still building it up. And I'm trying to get as many of the creators that I really like in the food space as cookbooks. But we're going to start with one creator. The rest of them are just kind of really nerdy things. But this is one of my favorite bakers, Dylan Hollis. And you've probably seen him on TikTok. He's real famous there. He does a lot of vintage baking, and this is his cookbook, Baking Yesteryear. I absolutely love this cookbook. I love vintage recipes too. I think they're fucking fantastic. It's kind of really funny to see the different eras of food, especially when you get into like the 50s and 60s, which is the era my mom grew up in and lived through. She was 19 in the 60s, just graduated high school in the 60s and got married to my dad. And it's interesting to see that era of recipes, especially when it's like you could see when certain items became mass produced, easily accessible products, and it really reflects in recipes of that era. Um, Next, we cycle back around to nerdy shit, um, and we're gonna start with the first D&D cookbook, Heroes Feast, the official D&D cookbook. Random page, kablam! What do we got? Delzone Tide Me Overs. Huh, a meatball of some kind. Delicious. I really like this. That Wizard of the Coast was just like, hey, let's make a cookbook of all the different races and stuff in the Forgotten Realms, and put it out there. Bouncing off of that, we have Flavors of the Multiverse, the D&D cookbook. It's the official one too. It's kind of the sequel to the first one. This one goes into. This is Sal bread. It kind of looks like cornbread, but and it goes into all the different worlds they have in the whole multiverse and D&D and Forgotten Realms and all the different worlds. And last but certainly not least, certainly not yeast. One of my favorite cookbooks that I have, which is the Exquisite Exandria cookbook, the official cookbook of Critical Role. Again, gigantic Critical Role fan. One of the reasons I'm really, really into D&D. I started playing D&D with my brothers before I got into Critical Role, but when I got into Critical Role, it amped up like what I loved about it times 10. I make enough content about it. Let's see. This slapped on me. Let's see if there's a name on page 4. Frowness Hollow Breakfast Sandwich. So it's a breakfast sandwich of deliciousness. I like that they went through and kind of expanded their world, which what I really like about Critical Role is they really have a deep world in it. And those are my cookbooks. Food means a lot to me, so these are kind of really important books to me. Cookbooks are kind of something that I have slept on for too long, especially since, like I said, I am in the food industry. I've been in it my whole life. It's been a passion of mine. I have so much knowledge in my brain about food and what to do and how to cook and different preparations around the world and just general knowledge about food, and I'm constantly learning and trying to grow that knowledge. So the cookbooks, it's something that should have been done a long time ago that I took way too long to get into. And I think it just took the right amount of like shit I love and people I love writing cookbooks. Because I think the biggest problem is so many cookbooks for so long in my life have been uh the ones around me have always been like, it's the Pioneer Woman, or it's fucking Paula Deen. And don't get me wrong, Paula Deen's got some good recipes, but like, fuck Paula Deen. You know, and fuck the Pioneer Woman. She is terrible. Oh my god. Uh, and not enough around me were by authors and cooks and chefs that I aspired to. One series of cookbooks I really want to get my hands on are all of Elder Brown's books. There's another one I'm looking for, Joshua Wiseman's books. I want to pick up the Mythical Cookbook is another one I'm planning on picking up when I can. I've got I want all the Good Eats books because that's like the series that inspired me to become a chef and work in food. Uh, what's another big one I really want to get? There's the cheeseburger books. God, what are their names? There's just about different cheeseburgers, and if anyone who knows me, cheeseburgers are my comfort food. They're my thing. They're something that I know so much about and love dearly. Like, I could eat a cheeseburger every day for the rest of my life and never get old. I wake up at 6 in the morning, sometimes 4 to 6 in the morning, sometimes, and plop a cheeseburger in a fucking frying pan, man. Um, so, food's really important to me. And to be able to kind of bridge some of the stuff I really love, the things that mean a lot to me, comic books and all this nerd shit, and then add into that something else I'm really passionate about, food. It's really fun and really interesting to find them. So that's another part of my collection. I think next time I kind of want to go into written novels I own. Again, I don't own a ton of them, but I do have some. Um, Truthfully, my book collection is something I've started over the last couple years. And so I've been trying to pick up a lot, play catch up with a lot of things. So I love you guys.